Across America, female teachers taking advantage of underage male students and committing sexual assault against them. We're noticing a pattern with many of these cases. They're using iPhones and social media in order to target the victim. Take 24-year-old Ricky Lynn Laughlin, for example. She worked as a special ed teacher in Missouri when she allegedly sent naked pictures and videos of herself to a 16-year-old student over Snapchat and then asked him to send pictures of himself in return. And then things escalated. He says Ricky kissed him and invited him over to her house to have sex while her husband was out of town. And Ricky was charged with 6 different felonies. 27-year-old Reagan Anderson, a former teacher and coach from South Carolina, is facing 2 counts of sexual battery on a student. She allegedly used Snapchat to send the teen naked photos. And then there's 38-year-old Lydia Pinto. Lydia was a high school gym teacher and coach, and the victim reported Lydia abused him when he was around 14 and continued doing so until his senior year. So what's going on here? Joining me now, host of Takedown with Chris Hansen and the Predators I've Caught podcast, Chris Hansen. Why is this trend seemingly picking back up again now?
I think you have better reporting, Jesse. I think you have awareness on the part of victims who are no longer as afraid as they once were to come forward. And I think you have parents who see suspicious behavior on the part of their children, then they can check cell phones, iPads, all kinds of other digital media, and the evidence is right there. These are criminals, these female teacher predators, but they're not smart criminals, and they leave a digital footprint. You know, one of the questions I'm asked most frequently about our predator investigations, do you find women predators? And in our cases, we do not, because these are guys who go online, they like to meet a stranger, a child, groom them, and then meet for sex. In female predator cases, they don't like the anonymity. They like to know their victim. So this is a case where they see their victim, they have power and control over their victim, and they're reliving this fantasy. And what we're also seeing is a lot of fetish porn involving teacher-student sex. And so if you're into this sort of thing, how long is it going to be before the fantasy is no longer good and you have to act out on it? And that's what we're seeing now.
That's interesting that the women want the intimacy and the men want the anonymity.
Yeah, that's not the only one that's there was one teacher who got. Let me see if I can find that one. A teacher A. They talk about this. Yeah, elementary school. The teacher A was allowed newer students to run multiple trains on her at a time. This happened. I'm trying to figure out which city this was. A second. I can't find the city. And there's another teacher. I think this is in Virginia. She's been arrested by the FBI after making 28 sex tapes with eighth grade students. Yo, it's a lot going on here in the United States. I don't think it's really talked about like that, because I don't know if we just read a newspaper and say, "Hey, bad luck for her," but a lot of these men, a lot of these teachers, to me, look like they're predators. And the thing is, we don't mention as women as predators and everything, because they mention us as men as predators. But as you can see, there's a lot of female teachers who are predatory against these, these teen boys and everything. And it's just getting crazy out here. And I think it's going to continue to be a rise on this. So I'm going to pass it on to you guys. So what do you think about these female teachers? Are you seeing a rise in it, and also are you seeing it? Are they being more predator to these teen boys?
It's not pretty much a rising. It's pretty much more of awareness of what's going on with these female teachers or predators. Not only that, but shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Loving the Thompson Vincent, Butterfly Jones, man. I ain't seen you in a long time. Shout out to Nidus, Ashton, and also the lovely Bobby Bryan. Those is watching us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and also NK. Thank you guys for always tuning in each and every week. We really do greatly appreciate you guys' presence. This is this ain't nothing new. Especially with me, especially when I do a lot of research and see what's actually going on within the community. It happens every so often. It's just not being reported because remember, especially in certain community, they get praise when a guy not sorry, not a guy, when actually a young boy is sleeping with a teacher. Because remember, it's an old adult. Most of the time, if a young boy go to his dad and say, "Hey, my teachers hit on me," most of the time the father will probably give the guy his son a high five or say, "You doing your thing, big dog. You killing it." So there's always been teachers predators for years. It's just now being reported, which is a good thing. And now and also what Chris Hansen said, I wish he do 100% do agree on is because of the fact of the corn world. The corn world shows that it be sometimes a certain fetish people be having when they say, "Oh, teacher and student, teacher and student, teacher and student." So is this those things is feed into a lot of these adult women psyche. So now they want to actually practice those things in actual reality. To me, I think those teachers are sick because remember, women always say I can't get a man out here. I find out a bet the difference. There's men out here your own way. Just deal with men your own way. You don't have to look at a young boy and feel like you have to manipulate him to use them or whatever you're trying to do to have that sense of control. And the same thing goes for guys as well. You know, stick with your age grade. I don't. To me, I always find that to be a sickness when I see like people think people like younger than what they really are. So, unless they're of age, if they're not age, I find that to be a total sickness. What's going on, Victor? My bad. I forgot to give you a shout out. Just hit me out. You're back from the grave. You've been gone. Well, you haven't been gone. I know where you be at, but it's glad to see you over here tuning in and timing in. We really do greatly appreciate your presence. So it is unfortunate, but as parents, I don't have any kids, but if you already have kids, to me, really consider what your child is telling you, especially if it's a boy, and tell her, hey, my teacher's hit on me. You need to immediately report that, and don't let that go unnoticed just because the simple fact is a woman. Go ahead, Akeem.
Thank you, brother. You spoke so eloquently, and I appreciate your thoughtfulness and your intake just as well as you, my brother, Jordan. Now, I'm going to approach this from a different angle. These things with predatory behavior with women has always been going on. It's not talked about. We all know somebody who's older who had a baby with somebody who's 18,
Mm-hmm.
could be 17. Nobody never say nothing. It's only when a concerned parent or mother or father that's involved that happened to this. Many black young boys have kids from older women. This is nothing new. Now, in pertaining with this, we seeing a lot of these white girls doing this. Now, here's the thing. A lot of y'all got to understand there's a mental aspect that comes into this. Them people still not grown. They still kind of like in their 20s. Who knows from a mental standpoint have they matured enough to do that? One of them was married with a kid. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to Liberator Soul Rebel. So I'm looking at it from this. These things have always been going on. A lot of people turn a blind eye to it. Some people is unsaid. I personally knew a guy who was 18 who had 3 kids from a lady that was 39. And I asked him, I'm like, hey, what do you see in him? He a young boy. Oh, something just happened. So, when I look at that, you also got to look at the person's mind state, where they're coming from. You 39 messing with an 18-year-old boy? So these people that we're seeing that getting caught up with these things have some type of mental issue going on, and things are going in that direction.
Yeah, I agree with you, Akeem. I definitely think it's a mental aspect, especially with these women and everything, how they're, these looking at these teenagers, which they're not even grown adults yet, and I don't know what type of disease it is, but it's a really nasty disease to see you being a teacher, and instead of you try to teach these kids and everything during it after school, you're texting them, sending them naked photos, and telling them, you come by my house for after school homework and all that type of stuff. It's and the thing is, it's like, as a boy, as a mindset as a man, it's like, yo, it's not, my friends, I'm telling my friends like, hey man, I think she likes you, man. I think you should go ahead and everything. But and stuff like that, you just hear that from, black communities that you hear it from, and I'm glad that we're seeing more in the awareness of it and everything, because it's I think it's really need to be really under control, and and like I said, it's like we see this situation week by week by week by week, and that sometimes it's like it's getting so bad that the FBI is getting in some of these cases as well. That's strange for maybe to 3, 4, 5 years, because usually when the FBI, when they do investigate, they really take their sweet time so they get all the information they need, and then once they get all the information they need, they got you, and then you'll be indicted really quickly and everything. Yeah, man, it's I'm really glad that we've seen a highlight of this getting taken care of, because I know as a teenage boy, you think about getting some, but if you are going to get some, make somebody in your same age level, not somebody that's 10, 15, or 20 years older than you, and the thing is, it's like you get the chick pregnant, which sometimes it can happen. Your life is over, because when the teacher that you sleep with goes to jail, some of these states, they be like, hey, if you're the father, we're gonna give it to you. You gotta take care of it and everything. And even though you're not ready, you gotta jump on it. You gotta jump on into it, take care of your responsibilities and everything. And yeah, man, it's unfortunate, seen us, like I said, seen a lot of we're talking about it, and these teachers that we see, they have the mental, like, to me, that's the mental issues. Really just put them in jail, put them in prison, a long time, because I can't see that happening to if I had a son, my child like that, speak to somebody at an older age, because I would not tolerate that one bit.